There we are. There you are. What is going on, everybody? It has been a crazy week. We will get into all of it, I hope. Some of it, most of it, all of it. But it has been a crazy week. I am Boxman, though. This is Wrestling Outlet. Welcome to Thursday night. And of course, across from me, that man in green, there he is.
Hello, it is I, the one and only voice of Generation Smart Lover. How are you?
I'm all right, man. As I was saying, I'm just a little tired. A little tired. My after my wife got that spinal stimulator, she can't do much. So that leaves me to do much. Uh, so, and I was up super early this morning. I had to go to Dallas today. Going to Dallas is a very stressful situation when you live out here in the country, and you're not dealing with crazy country drivers that are. It's different when you go to Dallas. Everyone's cutting you off. Everyone's giving you the finger. My dad is a crazy man in the car and yells at people and gives them the finger. And I'm afraid one day I'm going to get a call that my dad's been either in a fight or a road rage incident or both.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Right.
He's gotten out of the car before. My dad is 75 years old. 75. He will get out of the car and scrap with anybody. He does not give a fuck. He doesn't care.
Is the driving still mostly intact though? Like, is he still? Would you say he's still a good driver, or would you actually? No, let's. I was gonna say, would you say that he's still a good driver? But what I would say more than anything is, would you say that the way that he drives is still consistent to the way he drove like 10 years ago?
No, my dad's always been a bad driver.
Well, I was gonna say, okay, is it at least consistent? You don't have to necessarily say he's good, but is it at least still even?
We've been making jokes about my dad's driving since I was like born. I make all kinds of jokes about it. My dad will be like, he'll say something and you should have seen I saw a bunch of accidents, and I'm like, oh yeah, in your rearview mirror probably. Okay, so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's a good driver in like Boston traffic. That's what my dad is made for, built for. That's what he should be doing, like Boston traffic. So in traffic, my dad's great. You put him on an open fucking road, scary shit's happening with my father. I have been in some bad accidents with my dad. We spun a Ferrari around 4 times, me and my dad. Yep. A guy was coming. We were pulling into my apartment. So we were heading, let's see, this is Florida. So we would have been heading west. And it's a west, and the other lane obviously was heading east. But there was a right turn only lane that people all the time used to try to get past the traffic. And they would run it. Well, that turning lane happened to be the turn lane into my apartment complex, and we were driving in, and he was driving, we were driving, he went, and right as we got past the cars, another car he tried to get around the traffic, didn't even see us, hit us in the rear, spun that Ferrari around 4 fucking times, cracked 3 of my ribs. I almost I wanted to kill the guy. I wanted to fucking beat the shit out of him. Luckily, my dad didn't let me, but I was about to. He had a big ass ponytail. I grabbed that motherfucking ponytail and grabbed him by the throat. And then my dad came up. I couldn't breathe. It was probably good he didn't. Guy probably would have fucking kicked my ass because I really couldn't take full breaths. So, yeah, 3 of my ribs.
A bit of a disadvantage, but adrenaline can get you through.
3 of my right ribs were cracked. No, I knew as soon as I got out of the car, my ribs were fucked up, and I went and got an x-ray that afternoon. But oh man, yeah, it spun us the fuck around, man. It took us 8 or 9 months to get that car back. They had to order parts from Italy. It was a nightmare, and when it came back, it still wasn't the same. It just didn't ride right ever again. The old the 350 Spider. But what we had was a black one. It was beautiful.
Uh-huh.
It was nice. He was driving me home because I was sick. So not only was I sick, I had 3 cracked ribs on top of being sick. That was my car, by the way. He wrecked. That was my car. That was mine. Now, I don't ever want anyone to think that I was buying these cars. I knew a guy who for $550 a month would lease me any car I wanted for as long as I wanted. And that's how I was getting these badass cars. BMWs, Porsches, Ferraris. I never bought them. I leased them. I would lease them for a year, 8 months, whatever. But it was a lot of fun to be driving around Porsches and Ferraris and BMWs and Mercedes, and it was fun. At one point, I even had the Magnum PI Ferrari. I had the 308 GTB, and it was red. I had the Magnum PI Ferrari. That was a pretty badass car. Then I had a black one that was a GTS, and I was driving that motherfucker, bringing it home. And look, 5th isn't working very well. Oh, neither is 4th. Oh shit, neither is 3rd. Clutch went on me. Didn't even get it to the fucking highway. So I got something else. I think that's when I got the BMW 525i. I got a 525i. Drove that for about. I actually held on to that car for like 2 years because it was just so comfortable to fucking drive.
Nice.
It just was. It was a very comfortable car to drive. So I kept that car for years. Years and years.
Right.
But I guess we can go ahead and get into everything, Smark. In all the years we've done these shows, Smark, this has never fallen on this date. None of the shows we've ever done have fallen on this date before. This is 9/11. Obviously wanted to just don't think we can do a show on 9/11 without mentioning 9/11, and did want to at least say, I mean, you remember where you were, I bet, when you heard it all. Where's the one? There's the one.
Sure, I want to say 5th. Yeah, 5th grade.
Wow, 5th grade. Okay.
I was at school. I was 10. I remember kind of being like, it was weird because I still went the rest of the day at school. Like, they didn't send anybody home. Nobody got to go. Like, and it was the beginning of the day because it was like 8 in the morning, something like that. 9 in the morning. So school more or less just started.
I was on my way to work. So I used to leave for work at like 7:45. I got there about 8:15. Absolutely. Absolutely. It had to be right around that time in the morning. I was on my way to work, heard everything going on. But I mean, as far as going through the day of school, listen, we watched people blow up in the fucking shuttle in school, and they were like, well, let's get the TVs out of the room, and okay, class, pull out your books. And it was like, we were, wait, something just happened. But that's what school is. They go, okay, get their, especially back in my day, it was just, okay, get their mind off of it. Now move on.
I don't really know if there was really all that much. I know we watched it for about at least an hour or so. Man, that was at least the first class of the day because it was I think I had gym class, and then it was went to gym, and then the next class was social studies or some shit, and that was just an hour of straight watching the news. By the time got into class and everything, I was watching TV. I think it had only been one tower at that point, so it was we were watching as it unfolded. So it was well, keep an eye on this for a minute, and then there was probably watched it for about an hour or two, and I was like, all right, well now it's time for English, so put it in the back of your minds, I guess, like you were saying. It's like, yeah, that's weird, like, because like especially think about the fact that like at that time, from like my time range at least, but I was born in 1990, so like it was like pretty much post Vietnam. It was Pearl Harbor had already happened. Like that was the first like incident, as it were, that I witnessed, or that kids my age witnessed, people my age at this point witnessed. Obviously not kids now, but you know what I mean.
You're 15 years younger than me. Holy shit, man! I didn't realize that till just now.
But I'm old too now, so like everything happens. It's all cyclical.
So you were in your 20s when we started doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I mean, 20. Wow. I've never felt so old as you just made me feel right now, Smark. I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, I was I was on my way to work. I think I've told this story before. I was on my way to work, and I was listening to Howard Stern. It's what everybody did back in 2001. Howard Stern was huge, and he was on the radio. It wasn't XM, or he wasn't on that whole satellite deal yet. So I was listening to Howard Stern. I forget who. I don't think he had a guest on at the time, but he started basically giving a play-by-play of what was going on. And I got to the office and immediately went across the street to Costco, and we got a TV. And at that time you didn't need cable or anything. You just plug in the TV, pop in some bunny ears, and boom, you got some channels. And I don't remember, have no clue what channel we turned on. Whatever the first channel that had news, which every channel had news on that day. And we started watching, and we I think we left around 11, and we closed the office. Everybody was closing their offices. This was South Florida, which, I'm not saying anything that people don't make jokes about already. South Florida is basically fucking New York. A lot of people had family in New York, so a lot of the companies down there were closing. So we closed up around 11, and I went home, and it's like I couldn't take my eyes off the TV, but I think around 3 o'clock I finally shut it off. And I've said this on this show before too, but the next day was a beautiful sight. We saw everyone had American flags. American flags were selling at every store. Everyone was chanting USA. Everyone was, I think the September 12th, I think, was the last time, and a little further past that was the last time this country was united. And we were all just Americans. I think that was it. So I don't know, man. But like I said, I did want to at least, all the years we've done these shows, this show, any other show, it has never fallen on 9/11 that I can remember. I mean, we've talked about 9/11 just while we're talking about other things, but I don't remember this show ever falling on a 9/11. So, we should all still remember all the people that we lost that day in New York, all the firefighters, all the police, all the families that lost somebody that day. It was an awful day. And yeah, I will. It's a day I'll never forget. And like I said, I'll also never forget the next day and the weeks after that, where everyone seemed to just come together, and it didn't matter. It was a good sight. It was pretty nice to see.
For sure.
It was. And yesterday, did you have anything more on 9/11?
Not too much I can think of. I was actually seeing on my Facebook earlier that, like, funny enough, despite being a native of Illinois, despite like being from Chicago, like my family and I had lived there when I was like a little kid, and then like as a teenager moved to Tennessee. So like I'd never properly been to the Sears Tower, right? So in 2017, I had gone to the Sears Tower just to say that I went there just to kind of experience it, or the Willis Tower if you want to be an asshole about it, but I don't wish to be disowned by my family, so like what it's actually currently called, I will choose to ignore. But I had gone, and it had dawned on me because like I'd gone to Chicago as it was like a birthday trip, and it had dawned on me that I was there on 9/11, and I was like, "Oof, this is probably not a good day to be here." Because like if something goes down, it'll be on this day, and it's like, "Oh shit!" Like because it was like I didn't even think about it, but then like kind of looking around and like the security was fucking crazy, and it's like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see anything like that again. I hope we don't. I mean, let's face it, that enacted the wonderful Patriot Act, which let's face it, spying on Americans, is what they were doing. So I don't know. I mean, it could definitely happen again. I hope it never does. It was horrible. It was horrible to watch. And yesterday I don't know, most of you got to watch Charlie Kirk get assassinated yesterday. That was tough to watch. I'll tell you the truth. I liked Charlie. I did not agree with him on everything. I will say that I did not agree with him on everything. His stance on abortion was a lot more absolutist than mine. Even though I consider myself pro-life, I don't know your story. I don't know your situation. And it's not up to me to make that decision. I still consider myself pro-life, but I don't know how many times have we talked about the show on this show and other shows that I try to take things situation by situation. I don't know your situation, and I don't mean you personally, Smark. I know you're not over there pregnant. But and he was a religious nut, a religious freak. So yeah, exactly, Luke. I don't care what side you're on. It doesn't matter. I pretty much got my whole rant out about people being horrible with Hogan. It's continuing now. I just think people that can laugh at the assassination of a 31-year-old who leaves behind a young wife, a 1-year-old, and I think his other child is 4 or 5. If you're laughing at that, you're kind of showing what kind of person you are. It's kind of gross. It's kind of sickening. But you know, I liked what he was doing. I liked that he was out there talking to college kids, wanting the open debate, wanting discourse with these college kids. And I just it was weird to see yesterday all the videos that were playing. It was sickening to see all the laugh reacts from people. I mean, all right, you didn't agree with the guy. He did not deserve that. Unfortunately, the clips are everywhere. So it's awful. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but yeah, I liked Charlie. I like that he was out there talking to students. I like all the guys that do that. Officer Tatum, Brandon Tatum, former Officer Tatum, Brandon Tatum. He does it. He's out there doing that. Steven Crowder, he's a little different. I actually think he's kind of annoying, to be honest with you. Steven Crowder's a little obnoxious for me. But I like the guys that go out there and want to have the civil discourse and, civil debates with these students that don't agree with him. This is what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be able to do that. But I just thought it was pretty crazy that we watched that. It was like something out of the 60s, you know? Horrible though, but I don't know. There's really not a lot. I don't want to there's so many different stories of yesterday they found someone. That wasn't the guy. They did this, they did that. So anyway, let's see, what was Luke saying here? That whole thing here. The only thing from yesterday that had me thinking is, what level of notoriety does someone have to reach where they are no longer killed but assassinated? I don't know. I mean, look, you can use whatever words you want. We saw what we saw. I believe what we saw yesterday was an assassination. JFK was assassinated. MLK was assassinated. I don't know. I don't know what level. I've never thought about it. But
I wonder if this is like semantics. Like if there's a clear-cut definition that would separate one from the other in terms of like.
Yeah. I don't mean to put it bluntly, but dead is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what you call it. You want to say he was killed and you don't want to call it an assassination? That's cool. That's fine. You can call it whatever you want, sir. But like I said, I did like Charlie. I watched a lot of his videos over the years, and I really liked what he did. Didn't always agree with him on, like I said, I didn't agree with him on more than those two subjects, but liked what he was doing with college kids. Though he was making a difference. I felt he was. And he started Turning Point USA in his garage at 18 years old and built it to what it was. It was a pretty hefty movement on the college campuses. So anyway, I do feel horrible for his family. Like I said, he left behind 2 young kids, a wife, and I guess the president announced that he's going to be getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom posthumously. So we'll see that happening soon. But man, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. So they were actually showing something that said the bullet might have actually bounced off of his bulletproof vest and hit him in the neck. I don't know if that's true, but there was one camera angle where it looks like it might have. So
see you, Luke.
See you, Luke. Anyway, I did want to mention that yesterday was a horrible day. I don't know if you know, there was also a school shooting in Colorado. 2 kids injured, but the shooter did turn the gun on himself. So, I mean, crazy shit happened yesterday, man. It was just a really weird day, and just a very weird day. But anyway, folks, 23 minutes on that. Didn't want to spend a ton of time on that, but did want to get all those mentions out there. And I guess we can go ahead and start getting into a little bit of the wrestling now. Kind of take everybody's mind off of what's been happening the past couple of days. AJ Lee, oh God. Yeah.
Come on.
That's what happens when you go on a rant. That's what happens.
Well, while you try to recover, a quick message here. Cheese Man has too many kids. Boxman needs the latest housekeeper out of the basement. Blah blah blah. See you after the game. That's from June. Mm-hmm. See, that's the problem. Is that unfortunately, I don't even know how this happened. This is my cross to bear, I suppose. There's a large amount of listenership that is unfortunately Green Bay Packers fans who are playing football tonight, which means that things might be a bit more quiet than usual. But it also means that I have to sit and reflect on the fact that I'm doing a show primarily for the enemy, which is strange. It's strange, but we love them anyway.
That's all right. It's okay.
Well, their team, yeah, pretty much. I mean, their team's good. My team sucks. It's been pretty much like that my whole life, so I've gotten used to it now. It's all good. We can move forward. We can move forward. The voice doing any better? We're doing good now? You back?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm fine. But folks, we had AJ Lee return. I think this was very predictable by a lot of people. So she did end up returning. And by the way, if I grabbed my camera and went around this room, you would wonder why I had a housekeeper. This room is a goddamn mess. I'd fire that bitch if I had one.
Well, I think the fact that you appear to be binding her is the problem.
Well, I mean, seriously though, if you looked at this room, it would be here. Actually, no. That's not what I wanted to do.
And now you're underwater.
What? Oh, hold on. It'll go away in a second.
Yeah, it was
Did it go away
for a second. You're fine now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did not mean to do that, folks. That was a wrong button. If I put it back on this, I mean, look at this fucking mess behind me. Chips over here. Oh, there's some Oreo cookies on top. Halloween Oreo cookies. I got water bottles everywhere behind me. I have a computer taken apart over here that I never put back together. I have my daughter's computer over here that I was going to steal if I needed to for the show. I have cords everywhere. Paper towels from Sam's. But here's a cage where we had a chicken right here. Chicken shit in it. Need to clean it. That's what the chips are on top of. They're on top of a chicken cage.
Is it possible that you got duped? That you ended up accidentally employing a fake Mexican, a la like Alec Baldwin, whose like wife claims to be Mexican, but like I can guarantee you, I know more Spanish than she does.
Yeah, she's really bad at it. She's really bad at it.
I can guarantee you, she has no idea what September 13th is all I'm saying.
No, it's weird, but yeah, his wife, who is a fake Spanish. I don't know. Sometimes I suspect that's Sophia. I expect that Sophia Vergara of being phony sometimes too.
Oh no, the accent 110% is fake, but I do kind of appreciate her for like still like for trying to be actually more aggressively Spanish than she actually is, because usually that shit goes the other way. You get where they like start bleaching their skin so it looks whiter and it becomes weird.
Yeah, I just appreciate that she's a beautiful girl, and she is. She's absolutely gorgeous, unbelievably gorgeous. But speaking of gorgeous, AJ Lee did return, folks. It was good to see her return. Like I said, this was pretty predictable. She looked, as you know, anyone's looking right here, you can see she looked unbelievable. She's aged a little bit in the face, but I mean, her body still looks almost the same. I thought she looked very good coming out there. She didn't change much. She skipped to the ring, like always. And that was it. But I thought she looked amazing coming out there. I'm really looking forward to it. But, of course, who do you think had a piss on her parade? If you're thinking Bully Ray. No, Bully Ray. He did say it would probably give us a good story over on the old Busted Open. But he's like, I haven't heard any stories of her being in NXT or training or anything, so I don't know what we're going to get here. So there you go. Hope she can get it done in the ring, Bully said regarding her in-ring skills. LaGreca said AJ. I'm sorry, Bully mentioned that he spoke to Natalia Neidhart about AJ returning, and she said AJ will be absolutely ready to go. So, just because Bully Ray hasn't heard of her in the NXT, at NXT or at the Performance Center, that means she hasn't been training. Because that's the only place she could train, right? Not in a gym with her husband in Chicago. No. I'm sure Bully would never think of something like that. That's too logical. She looks like she's been training. I mean, they're probably training at home. That body, I wouldn't blame Punk at all. But
I would hazard a guess based on like the most recent photo I've seen of her and the most recent photo I've seen of him that she's probably been training more recently. Just a guess.
Yeah, I think so. Most definitely. But I mean, really, you look at her, she has not changed very much at all. She's been out of the ring for 10 years. We haven't really seen much of her in 10 years, and she comes out and looks amazing. So, no, we haven't seen her in ring yet, but definitely looking forward to seeing her in the ring. I think she's going to be just fine. I guarantee she's been doing some training just because old Bubba Bully Ray doesn't know about it. Doesn't mean she's not training. It just means she's sitting with WWE aid, WWE bubble. Never forget this guy is being paid by WWE. Never forget that. So when he's over there talking shit about AEW, remember, that must be when the money hits the bank. Oh, what talking about? Let's go talk shit about AEW.
I wonder how much time he's actually out there spending at the performance center. Like, Bo Ray's just out there fucking big old fucking 12-inch sub in hand, just watching the workouts at the performance center.
This guy got over being a dumbass with glasses on. Come on, dude. Shut up. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
He's the end all be all now, according to some people. Please. No, you know what? Dirk did send me what Jim Cornette said about AJ Lee, and I did not get to listen to it today. Like I said, I was in Dallas all day. I rushed back here. I didn't get back here till almost 5 something, and had to get dinner. I had a bunch of stuff to do, and then I had to get this show going. I probably missed. I skimmed through AEW, so it's good. I skimmed through it, but I did still see everything. So I was in a little bit of a rush, so didn't have time to hear what Jim Cornette said. I'll listen to it tomorrow. I got to be out for a couple hours tomorrow too, but not go to Dallas. Fuck no. 2 days in a row? Oh, hell no.
Is that, well, never mind.
What?
I was going to ask you if that's like the nearest metropolitan area, but I don't know if I really, like, if you want to be sharing such information.
Oh, I don't give a shit. I'll give you my fucking address. Go ahead, try to get in my fucking house. You get past my dogs, I'll give you get past my dogs, I'll give you $100. Let's see. That probably would be. I'm right in between 2 big cities. You know, you know what I mean by small town, big cities, right? I have Longview over here, and I have Tyler here. I'm kind of sandwiched in between. So I guess that would be. I mean, they call the Metroplex area Dallas-Fort Worth. So yeah, that would be right in that area. So, yeah, but there's also like, I don't know. I guess there's a part called Rockwall out there. That's probably the closest. Like that's where you start hitting the big businesses is Rockwall. Still about an hour and 40 minutes from me, but that's where you start hitting the larger companies. And then as you keep going into Dallas, they keep getting a little. You know, you got your big ones, you got your small, little ones too. But so, I guess between Rockwall and Mesquite, which is right beside each other, is where I guess you could kind of start the Metroplex area.
Excellent.
And I answer that business-wise because that's about the only way I can think to answer that. Because I call on places. Yeah, I mean, this is where I call on business. I got plenty of business here, but there's only limited accounts out here. People are tired of paying shipping. What I need to do is get a warehouse in the area and just start carrying some tape and stretch wrap. I think I could become a rich man doing that and saving people money and saving them on shipping. And I'm looking into it. I'm gonna start asking some people around some of my accounts, even if they've got a little bit of warehouse space I can store stuff at. Just maybe 4 pallets at the most to start. Go from there. 3 pallets. I'll go with 3 pallets. 2-inch tape, 3-inch tape, and a pallet of 18-inch stretch wrap.
18 inches, huh?
18-inch stretch wrap, baby. That's called hand wrap. That's what they call it.
My goodness.
Yep. Oh, you should see hand banding. It's like 5 inches. It's like a little baby. It's pretty cool. A lot of moving companies use the little ones. They like the little ones, the moving companies.
I personally take umbrage to 5.5 inches being described as a little baby.
It's,
Do the best I can.
no.
Then do the best I can.
Now they got 3 inches too. They got 3-inch hand wrap.
Ooh.
Packaging's such a weird business. It's so. I actually had a guy. I told a guy I was fishing the other day, which I haven't done in a long time, on Tuesday, and the guy came over and started talking to me, and he asked what I did, and I said I'm in sales, and he's like, "Must I know what you are." I said, "Really? You know what I sell?" He goes, "You're a car salesman." I said, "I am going to do my best not to take that as an insult, sir." Okay.
I was gonna say it's kind of hard not to take like offense to that.
Yeah. But then I told him what I did, and he was very confused by it. When you tell people you sell packaging, you a lot of times get weird looks. Packaging? What you mean? People immediately think you sell fulfillment, like you do the packaging. But I mean, if you think about everything you buy comes in what? A package.
Packages.
It comes in a box. It comes in a bag. It comes in a clamshell, which is those things you fucking can't ever fucking get apart. It comes in a blister pack, which is where the piece of corrugated is on the back, and you have to. It's like look, it's blister pack. It's bubbled on there. Let's call it a blister pack. All those are in packaging. Those come in other boxes that are cases, so there's outer boxes to those. So everything you buy is in a box. Most things you buy that come in a box come in a bigger box. And then when they go on the pallet, you have to use stretch wrap. You have to tape the boxes. I sell tape. I sell stretch wrap. I sell strapping to make sure the shit don't go anywhere if it's in the truck. Fucking all that shit. It's a weird business, but it's a good business. Plus boxes. You need a box. I'm a box man. I am your man for boxes. So there you go. And boxes can be a big business. There's people in this business that I know that are making more than $2 million a year. Profit. I'm talking profit. I'm not talking they sell $2 million a year. They make $2 million a year. There's some huge accounts out here especially when you get into Dallas and especially Fort Worth. Fort Worth has some giant accounts in Fort Worth, some big business out there, big companies. And if anyone's got the fucking salt to go down to Houston and places like that, I mean, you got fucking some really big manufacturers down there. Tesla's down in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So there's plenty of places out here. It's just when I think of where places are around here, the only way I can think of them is where business starts. So that was a really long rant for no reason. I apologize. I said we were going to get through this quickly, and I'm taking us off the rail.
It was kind of an inception.
I'm sorry.
That was like that was an aside on an aside because you started talking about your fishing excursion, and then it became sort of just the regional packaging supply line.
Yes, welcome to the packaging portion of the show. Got that out of the way. Hope you all like that. Enjoy that. You have any other packaging questions? Hit me up.
It's an incredibly niche thing, and it's an incredibly niche thing that, with all due respect, you'd be doing on your own. But I feel like if you actually made a show about that might gain some traction.
I'll tell you the truth. I've been thinking of starting a packaging podcast. I do have a company. I do own a company, and I believe it has a YouTube. I think I might have started a YouTube with it, but I haven't put any videos on there. But I think I went over and did all the stuff to get it going. But I do have a company. No website yet. I'm working on all that.
Well, there's a time in my life where I worked for FedEx, and like some of the most fun I had was just like reading through the fucking, because you process the shipments. It's like reading through like the international like bylaws and like all the shit that you can't ship to various countries. because you would see shit like human parts, you'd see shit like animal semen, and it was just like, it was so fucking wild. Like, you couldn't ship sex toys to random places, and it was just like, it was all very just. It was a landmine of or gold mine rather for just an immature person such as myself to just observe and enjoy.
Yeah, I actually had to sit through something similar to that. I actually am hazmat and hazmat trained for boxes, UN boxes. So I can do all that stuff too, which I had an owner decide to ask me if I wanted to go with him. And I'm like, sure, I'll go. And next thing you know, I'm fucking certified, and it's a 20-year certification. Hell yes. I'm still certified. So I could do hazmat shipping. And that was a crazy class, but literally they just gave you the answers to the test. So if you had any memory at all, you could pass the test. Yes, I actually did pass. I did. Okay. Let's move on here. So Bryan Danielson was on a podcast. I looked through this whole article. I could not figure out what show he was on, but they were asking him about something we've been talking about WWE counter programming AEW. And we have been talking about that a little bit. Oh, welcome back, Nora. I'm glad you're all spruced up and ready to go for the show.
Spruce up a bit.
This is something.
And then I'm done.
What was that? What?
No, I was reading that out loud. He said, have to spruce up a bit, then I'm done. He's on his way home. Busy night.
Exactly.
Busy day.
Exactly. So, but he was asked about the counter programming that WWE has done. Obviously, the latest instance we talked about with WrestlePalooza coming up on the 20th of this month, the same day as All Out. But again, Tony Khan did move All Out's time, I believe, to 3:00, right? Yeah. So that is a little fixed. But now Tony Khan claims to have, I found this word crazy, claims to have his blinders on when it comes to what WWE decides to do. That's the exact word I used. He needs to have blinders on for this shit and just go about and fucking do his own show. That's exactly the word I used. Anyway, when he was on but when he was asked about it, he said, "I'm just curious. The people who are making these decisions, what they're thinking, right? In the sense of like, oh, okay, this AEW thing, it's a real danger to our billion-dollar business. That can't be it, right?" Oh, this was on the Kairou's Brothers show. I don't know who that is. You?
Love them.
Huh? No.
I have no idea who they are. I said love them, but yeah, I have no idea who the fuck they are.
I don't either. I finally found it right there. So, I don't know. This is actually a decent little argument. You can sit there and say WWE thinks that AEW isn't competition, but when they do counter-program the show, it kind of makes you think they are thinking of them as competition. So there's an argument to be had there. But is WWE worried about AEW? I don't think that would be the case. I think they like fucking with AEW. I think it makes Triple H happy. Shawn Michaels and Triple H, you got to remember these guys. DX is running WWE and NXT. DX. They've got a sense of humor. I could see them literally just sitting back there and going, let's just fuck with them. Same day. Love it. Let's do it. I don't know. Again, another conversation to be had with this, but I don't know. What do you think, Smart? You think they think of them as a huge threat, a fear? You think they're just fucking with them?
I mean, maybe not like a huge threat, but I feel like they don't want anybody who doesn't work with or for them to exist in their space. Big competition,
Okay.
small competition, otherwise. They want a monopoly. They've been abundantly clear about that. That's why they have fucking, they're working with TNA. They fucking bought AAA. Like AAA is not a competition to them either, but they want fucking WWE Mexico. They want WWE Japan. They want fucking WWE Switzerland. They just want to have the monopoly. They want to completely corner the market, and that's what they're going to try to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I don't know how anyone could disagree with that. They have, I mean, Triple H came out and said that was their goal. That was a few years ago, but I mean, NXT UK failed. It failed. It did. It failed. I mean, we got a few good people out of there. What did we get? We got Ilya Dragunov, amazing talent out of that. Who else? Who else came from over there? I mean, I forget who else, but at least 4 or 5 guys came over from there. Oh, Gunther, I believe, right? No, I think he start there?
I think so.
Yes, he did.
He was there for a minute.
So we got Gunther out of that. So definitely a few good guys, but in the long run, it failed. So, WWE is great, but trying to do stuff in different countries when they already have their own shit isn't a good idea. And then they were, just as we said they were going to do, they were keeping people from working other promotions, other indie promotions, because they were under their banner. And it was WWE doing WWE things. I don't know what else to say.
Sure.
Yeah. There was another quote here that he said, and they were talking about the company AEW's existence over the past six years and change. And that, the company's landscape has changed with people like Cody leaving and a couple others. And the question was a little skewed. They basically asked him, do you think AEW has made WWE a better company? Kind of a weird question to ask, but this is what he said. If AEW wouldn't have started, would Cody Rhodes be where he is right now? No. They have a megastar because AEW exists. Would CM Punk have ever come back? Probably not. So there you go. Now, these are two
they
things.
They basically just tried to make it seem like that's a developmental territory for them. That's why.
Pretty much. And dude, we talked about this when Nick Khan basically said in an interview, I can't, when their contracts are up, we'll be sure to look at them. I mean, Jesus Christ, you just said they're going to steal the fucking talent as soon as their contracts are up.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, I know Danielson is really one of those kind of, he's one of those guys that a lot of what he says is out there and a little crazy. But we don't know either one of these. Would Cody Rhodes be where he is right now without AEW? Maybe. Maybe. Do you know? He might be further in his career right now without AEW. Can I answer that? Can you answer that? None of us really know. None of us know because it didn't happen that way. So I find that bullshit. What about you?
I think that, I mean, it's all just guessing, but like, I think him being there and them pushing him like helped serve as like a bargaining chip to hire future talent from there. I feel like if Cody doesn't go, if AEW doesn't exist, I feel like Cody probably spends a lot of time in Japan, and then maybe he goes to TNA, and then maybe through TNA he ends up back there. But I feel like there certainly wasn't the same importance to bring him back and to push him the way that they pushed him if there was no other alternative.
I think he was heading back that way anyway. He was doing great on the indies. He was making a name for himself. He was doing all the stuff, like you said, in Japan. He was doing well. I think, we know WWE, after you leave, if you can go out there and make a name for yourself, we know they would take you back. They might have taken him back earlier. He could have been further along in his career right now. No one knows. No one knows. And I'm not sitting here like arguing with Bryan Danielson, but it's not the best comment to make. And the other one is the same. Would CM Punk have come back? Probably not. Well, maybe he would have. We don't fucking know. Vince was gone. Maybe Triple H would have got it. He had said Triple H had contacted him at one point before he went back to AEW. Before he went to AEW. So these are two statements that I know he was trying to put over AEW, but they're completely unknown. What could have happened? Cody Rhodes could have been already back in WWE, spent those, what was it, 2 years he spent, or 2 years he spent in AEW, already building for a story, and could have already, who knows, could have been champion his second year. We don't know. We don't know. I just thought it was a very stupid fucking statement. Stupid. Stupid. But he did go on to praise, talent coming over from WWE like Moxley, Copeland, Gage, Tony Storm, a few of those. So, again, I know the guy was trying to put his company over, but that statement can be picked apart in seconds. And I'm not a fucking, trust me, I'm no genius.
And it was.
I am no genius. I am far from that. Very far. Very far. God, take the comment down already. So, folks, if you're wondering, where's Wardlow? We've already played this game. But we all know he made his triumphant comeback at All In. Remember that, Smark? It was good stuff, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this has not been confirmed by AEW or Tony Khan, but this is Yahoo Sports reporting. Fightful is also reporting, and a few other places that are, I would say, pretty trustworthy in the dirt sheet industry, whatever you want to say, that he is already dealing with an injury, a possible torn pec. They don't know yet what is happening with it. So he came back. I'm sorry, he returned to Forbidden Door. I apologize, folks. I'm an idiot. We've already discussed that today. He came back at Forbidden Door. And then that was pretty much it. But it's being said that he probably tore his pec when he came back after giving the one F5. So Wardlow just coming back after, I don't know if he was injured back. I think he was injured, but we know he was recording doing American Gladiators. Mm-hmm. Now he's hurt again. Came back, one appearance, boom. Possibly back in the hospital or back in the operating room for a bit. If it's torn, again, we've got no confidence. AEW usually confirms when all this bullshit goes on that they are injured. So, I don't know. We have put this guy over. The guy is over with the crowd. The crowd has been forgiving. Is that the right word? Yeah. The crowd has been forgiving of Tony Khan in the way he's pushed Wardlow with I think we even said he had the Dolph Ziggler push. You give him a push, you stop. You start, you stop. You start, you stop. And the crowd was forgiving with it because every time he came out, he was still over. I think 4 times we said, my God, they forgave him again. I can't believe it. Well, I don't know how many more times he has. I mean, eventually no one's going to give a fuck. Eventually, it's going to be, oh, well, he's going to come back and get hurt. So, I don't know, man. I just think I feel bad for the guy. I really think he has a lot of potential to be a star in the company. But if he can't stay healthy and he can't stay, stop being injured, they're going to consider him injury prone. I know it's AEW, not WWE, but they weren't pushing him in the first place. If they're going to consider him injury prone, I'm sure they're not going to find a spot for him. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Wardlow, but I hope he can recover. I hope he can get back quickly, and we'll see what happens. What about you?
It's interesting because, like, somebody that does get injured that often, like if he has been injured the last couple of times and that's actually been the reason for like the start pushes, you do reach a point after a while where the guy has no like upward trajectory to where you don't feel comfortable like putting anything significant on his plate because you don't know if he'll be around to actually make hay of it. And that's a company that has been snake bitten a couple of different times by like big injuries that have affected like big angles, like the whole fucking MJF Adam Cole thing where they both got injured. That was going to be like their big storyline for months, and they had to just pull the plug on them almost instantly. Like they've gotten fucked over by that before, so wouldn't be terribly surprised if they get gun shy with pushing people that have a history of getting injured. So it's like after a while you start to kind of wonder like how many more chances. Not really that it's his fault or that he deserves to be punished or anything, but you start to wonder like how many more opportunities you can give to somebody when they're injured as often as he appears to be.
No, and I mean I hate to talk about these guys like they're commodities, but let's face it. When you invest in one of these guys, you want a return on, you want ROI, you want a return on your investment. And if you've got a guy that you're paying and he keeps getting injured, you're not getting a return on your investment. The guy's costing you money. So where's the value? You have no value anymore. So I don't know. I'm hoping that it's not a tear. Maybe it's just pulled. I don't know. But maybe we can get him back on TV again and give him a real push and get the guy going. I feel bad for him because, like I said, man, the crowd fucking loves this guy. And they have. And 4 times they've loved him. And they even cheered for him this time when he came out. So, it's just, it's sad that this guy can't get it done. And the worst thing is WWE's not going to pick him up if he's injury prone. We know that. NXT, and no tryout, no nothing. So we'll see what happens. He might, I don't know. I don't know what else he can do. I like the guy. I hope he gets better. I definitely hope he heals. Jeez.
Who the fuck is that? The old Conor McGregor special.
Oh, we both did it the same.
Okay.
Stop it.
Hands up.
That's like when you're trying to open the door or unlock the door and someone keeps pulling the handle.
Mm-hmm. But let go.
Same shit. No, just stop already. So let's hope Wardlow can get better, get back in the ring, and either get a push. I hate to say it, but either get a decent push or get the fuck out of the company. I'm sorry. I hate to be like that tonight, but I'm exhausted.
I'm tired. Fuck him. Fire his ass. I don't care. Fucking send him to TNA.
I mean, really, where else can he go? That would be the only place he could go, and then hope that gave him a possible NXT foot in the door. But I don't. Why would TNA want you if you're injury prone?
It's TNA. They just need bodies. They have Tessa Blanchard.
You're right. Tessa Blanchard. They took Kurt Angle when they knew he was on drugs.
I mean, to be fair, it's like it's ethically. I almost said ethnically. That's not true. It's ethically very not great. It's very bad. It's a bad look. But he still performed really fucking well for the first couple years. Like, even despite being on drugs, he's on his shit.
Oh, good. He can handle his drugs. That's awesome.
They sent Jeff Hardy out there fucked up. Like, they didn't care.
That was probably the lowest TNA moment I had ever seen in my life. The lowest TNA had ever gone.
I will say this, more than anything, he should just be glad that it was Sting and not somebody else. Because I think if it was somebody else, they probably would have fucked him up. Sting just like kind of went about his business, pinned him, and left.
Dude, think of putting like a, let's see here. Okay, I got two. Think of Hardcore Holly in there with him, Bob Holly. Mm-hmm. He would have killed him. JBL would have killed him. Mm-hmm. Would have killed him. I don't know, man. You're right. He's 100% lucky that was Sting that night. No one else would have been that professional. The crowd was chanting, "This is bullshit," and all he could say was, "I agree." 2 words and walked out. TNA needs Loki. You know who needs Loki? No one.
No. Let him cook. I think TNA does need Loki.
Nope. No one needs Loki. No one. I don't even think he needs himself.
He definitely doesn't need himself. He's very self-destructive.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Actually, I like his wrestling. He's a great wrestler. He's just a douche. He's a dick. And he is reckless. The video of him beating the shit out of the unconscious guy is horrible to watch because he was doing it purposely.
Yeah.
He didn't. I mean, that's fucked up when you can beat an unconscious guy. But I don't know. If you've got that in you, I wouldn't want to be in the ring with you.
Like, I'm not entirely sold on the idea that he's like a genuine badass. It's like, yeah, you could probably hit and kick pretty hard, but like, I would still much rather fight him than fucking Brock Lesnar or fucking like a long list of people. Like, you don't even have to go to quite that extreme. I'm just like him or Shelton Benjamin. I'm fighting fucking Loki.
Oh fuck! I'll do. I mean, dude, we can just do this to Loki. Just put our hand up and hold his forehead, dude. Stop!
I would
stop.
It is like I at some point I need to buy like just like an 8x10 like framed photo of just him being fucking dragged away by Atlas security and it like kicking his legs. They have him fucking lifted up and he's like, God, he looks like a toddler. It's the most amazing shit.
That should be a fucking dude. We should sell that. That should be our first merch item. Is Loki being?
It's one of the most beautiful photos I've ever seen.
I love it. Let's put it on a fucking shirt and sell that bitch, dude. Oh shit! Let's do it. Oh shit! Fuck, man. What is that? What's the T-shirt? 1 hour tease? What is it?
I think so.
Yeah, we'll do it. Put it up there, baby. All right, folks, we got to talk about one thing here that's not great. Jerry Lawler. I like Jerry Lawler. I love the
Agreed.
guy.
Next topic.
I know. Jerry Lawler's got problems, but I just like the guy. I don't know. He suffered a stroke, folks. We all know the guy had a heart attack on air a while back. He has now suffered a stroke. He is back home already and communicating. He's okay. But I don't know, folks. This makes me sad. This makes me very sad that Jerry Lawler is not in good health. But luckily, he's all right now. Hopefully, he'll pull through. Jerry, stop eating the shitty food. This guy had a heart attack and was like eating cheeseburgers in the fucking hospital. Stop it.
They were making him for a while. Like,
I know, dude.
They had like partnerships with like Sonic or Burger King or some shit. So like 2 or 3 weeks later, he's like fucking just shoving double cheeseburgers down his throat on fucking live television.
Yeah, munching onion rings, and their onion rings are so sweet at Sonic. I hate their onion rings. I despise their onion rings.
I'm all about it, but it cannot be good for you. Like, definitely don't
Yo,
eat those
my
after
favorite
a
onion.
fucking heart
No,
attack. My goodness.
the best onion rings are at Fuddruckers. They have I don't know what I got to find out what they put on those motherfuckers, but they are so goddamn good. Mm. We don't have any near us around here that I know of. I don't think there's one.
Same.
You know what? Let's check in Waze. Let's see. Is there the closest Fuddruckers to me? Let's see. Fuddruckers.
I believe the nearest one to me is like Knoxville, and we're talking about 2.5, like almost 3 hours away.
Closest one to me is. Oop, how did that happen? Hold on. 161 miles away in a town I've never heard of.
It's probably the only thing there.
Buckthorn. Wait a minute, this isn't even in my state. Well, I'd probably end up in Louisiana. Yeah. Yep. It's in Louisiana. So I'd have to go to Louisiana to go to Fuddruckers. Nope. I'll just find out what's in their shit and make it.
Yeah.
I'll do that. But hey, good to see Jerry Lawler home, or that he is home, and I hope he's going to be all right, folks.
For sure.
I do. Bam. What else we got here? Oh, there was some big news. Now, WWE is saying that they are having a huge announcement tomorrow at 3:00, folks.
Jesus.
But according to Fightful, Sports Illustrated, and a lot of other outlets, we already know what the announcement's going to be. Is going to be that they are doing WrestleMania 43 in 2027 in Saudi Arabia. That is what it's going to be, folks. People are speculating that they might have a different announcement, but this has not been confirmed by WWE yet. Like I said, we got Fightful Select, and I'm getting this article right here from the Takedown on Sports Illustrated, that it is going to be on that date. It is going to be in 2027. Now, according to Big Daddy Meltzer,
this is the funniest shit in the world to me, because I read the article, and it was Dave Meltzer not only explaining that he believes that the WrestleMania is going to be in Saudi Arabia, but also giving a detailed history about the founding of Saudi Arabia as a country. Like, he was just displaying a fucking Saudi Arabian history lesson, and I was like, I don't want to get any sort of world history from fucking a man who could barely formulate a sentence without and every third word.
And he was kind of right. He was pretty much right. They were founded in 1777, but they were not named the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia until 1932. So he was sort of right and sort of wrong, depending on what he was going for. They were not named what they are named now until 1932. Put it that way. Thank you, Google Gemini.
It's the same thing that Dave Meltzer used to give his initial point as well.
Well, I am not smart enough to know that off the top of my head or anything like that. Don't ever think I am. But yeah, but he's kind of right. But when asked why, now we had done this, we had talked about that they were probably going to do this eventually. Mm-hmm. So Meltzer says, and I quote, the reason it had to be 2027 was that Turkey, Al-Sheikh, which is the picture I have up there, that's him right there, is running the show. Ari Emanuel is the head of TKO. Nick Khan is the head of WWE. Dana White is the head of UFC. Dana White and Nick Khan are the head of TKO Boxing. However, the final boss is Turkey, because he's the guy with all the money in the world at his disposal. So he pushed Saudi Arabia, I believe, was made a country in 1727. It's like their independence, like ours, 1776, right? So anyway, he keeps going, and he's basically saying that they wanted it to be on their 300th anniversary, and they're paying good money to get it done, so it's gonna get done. There was a release in Arabic that was accidentally circulated, which is how this rumor got started. So, if anyone could read Arabic, then they know what was going on. So, there you go. What do you think of that, Smark?
I think that I probably won't be watching, because it sounds like they're already lobbying to get a bunch of people. I saw an additional report to that like anybody who wants to come out of retirement will be paid a fuck ton of money if you've achieved any certain level of stature. So that means we're probably going to get another fucking Goldberg match that I do not want to subject myself to in between like 4 hours of fucking weekly ads and Saudi tourism commercials. It's like, it just doesn't sound like a fun way to spend an evening or an afternoon.
Cheese has a good point. Why wouldn't they have announced this today? I wonder. Strange.
Not coincidence.
Strange. I get what you're saying, Cheese. I get what you're saying. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you right there, man.
Strangest
right.
way to
USA, baby.
Fucking strangest way to reintroduce Muhammad Hassan to your television program.
Oh, I was gonna start playing a Toby Keith song, but anyway.
We had to wait until he passed before we could have WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia because we didn't want him coming over with his nonsense, threatening us.
Put it straight up your ass. It's the American way.
Of course, TNA legend.
That's right. He can rest in peace. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, folks, there you go. So, yeah, WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very different show. But, folks, listen, they've been in bed with these guys a long time. They're gonna do this. No matter what. They're getting paid. They're getting paid good money to do this, folks. There's nothing we can do. This is going to happen time and time again. I guarantee. I don't think this is the end. I think WrestleManias are going to start being overseas very soon. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, we're going to get one in 2027. I think after that, we'll start getting a few more. I think 2028 is going to be in. I forget where they said, but anyway, we'll nothing we can do. No matter what you think of Saudi Arabia, their government, whatever, nothing. They're going to take the money, folks. It's $5 billion. $5 billion.
In relation to
that's
that,
what he's paying for.
I don't know. Go ahead, because I'm kind of changing the subject a little bit. So if you had something else,
I was just going to say, plus whatever he's fucking paying them per show to do whatever he's doing. So go ahead, please.
I was going to say, in relation to that, did you see I checked to make sure that you didn't send it over, but did you see the quote that came out? They had like a press conference. TKO president was talking a little bit about like the ticket prices and such.
Yeah, I believe Nick Khan.
I have the.
Well, please read it.
Okay,
Please,
so
please.
the excerpt that I found that would just makes them seem like lovely people is a TKO president Mark Shapiro states that Vince McMahon was primarily pricing tickets for families, God forbid, and wasn't focused on maximizing the opportunity to increase said prices like TKO is currently focused on doing. Like, oh, the audacity of that man to actually want ticket prices to be affordable for his customers. What a fucking asshole. That just made me laugh because I was like, you are just a special kind of awful if you're making a guy who allegedly sex trafficked his employees seem good by comparison.
Well, basically, what you're saying is Vince McMahon was pricing tickets for families, and you are only worried about maximizing every dollar you can out of them. People should really think about what that statement is saying. Really should think about it. And this, I'll tell you what, I am not a cancel culture guy, but fuck, if a boycott wasn't ever fucking needed, now it is. I know it will never happen, but folks, if that's the only way to do it.
I don't think anything is going to happen anytime soon, but I think if they keep waving their dick around like that, eventually people are going to tell them to fuck off. Like, you can only tell your customer base straight up to their faces that you're exploiting them for every dime that they have before they're like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. I like how you put that. You can only wave your dick at them so much.
I mean,
you can wave your dick at me, but only so long. You're not going to wave it at me from. Okay. Oh, no, stop. Oh, okay. Just one more minute.
Well, and
okay. Okay. Now that's enough. That's too long.
Exactly. Okay. There's limits to everything. Okay. But no, I was talking to Cheese about this. I was like, because we were talking about, like, I had watched SummerSlam. I had tuned in for SummerSlam. It was like the Saturday night show, I think it was. And like, I turned it on just in the middle of the show. I sat through like a fucking 30-second to a minute long ad for that Peacock put on. Then the show comes on.
Mm-hmm.
They run like a video package, then a commercial, then another commercial. And then like 20 minutes in of just sitting there watching commercial after commercial, it's like, all right, and now it's time for a jelly roll match. And I'm just like, I just turned it off. I'm just like, this shit isn't like, this is not wrestling. I don't want to watch this shit. And I started thinking about it. I was like, imagine, because you have to buy the tickets in advance, obviously. So like, imagine, putting down like $600, $700 or whatever, like however much they're charging, like big fucking exorbitant prices, like a couple months ahead of time. And what they give you is Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul. Like, I would be so fucking furious. I would demand a refund. I would just I would just show up every day at the box office until it happened. Like, I know I probably wouldn't, but I would fight that. I would die on that hill, almost literally.
They're fucking making Vince look like fucking Robin Hood out here.
I just love how they said that. Like, he was like, he actually wanted people who wanted to be at the show actually be able to afford tickets. It's like, what a fucking scumbag.
This piece of shit had fucking families on his mind. Ew. Garbage human being. Ew. Oh my God. He was pricing tickets for families. Gross.
Like, we're finding sex crimes.
God. No wonder he's a sex trafficker. He was pricing tickets for families. What a disgusting human being. Oh my God. He's guilty now. Now I know he's guilty. Now that just told me he's guilty right there. That fucker's guilty. You price tickets for families, you're sex trafficking. You sick fuck you.
I like the idea.
You sick fuck.
I like the idea of them putting out a propaganda like documentary series to try to get him in trouble just because he wasn't exploiting people for money. Like we were fine with the sex crimes, but the fact that he's like mingling with the middle class makes him persona non grata. Fuck that man.
Yeah, that was that statement. Again, people should really look at that statement and see what they just said. No one will. No one will. Some people are just going to go, well, that's business over there. That's how it works. Business.
I don't have like the exact tweet or the exact like post that was made about it, but like somebody was saying that they had paid $2,000 for like the VIP experience for that show that they did in France, the French PLE. And there was a VIP package. It was supposed to be like a meet and greet. You're supposed to get like hors d'oeuvres and like this unlimited buffet and all this shit. And apparently they made good with the food promise. but they ended up allowing them into the venue like 45 minutes late. And the only people they got to meet were like fucking like B-Fab and like a couple of members of the Wyatt stable. And it's like, he paid $2,000 for this. It was like, oh my god, you got ripped off so fucking hard.
I wouldn't pay two grand for B-Fab. Sorry.
And it was literally, it wasn't even like they hung out. It was like literally like a meet and greet. Like you took a photo, you said hi, and then they were gone. And it was like, Jesus Christ, you guys got fucking screwed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I get it. It's a business. They do want to maximize every penny they can. You probably don't want to tell your fan base that you are doing this, but I get it. I do. But you do have to think about the fact that there are people out there that want to go see these shows. And I know what everyone's going to say. Oh, you can just go see a fucking house show. I get that. You're right. They can go see a fucking house show. But should they have to?
I mean,
they should be able to go see a fucking Raw, a TV taping.
They kind of don't do house shows that much anymore. Like, I guess maybe, I think they might still do it for NXT, but like not so much Raw and SmackDown, from what I understand. Like that happens.
No, because they were losing money.
Mm-hmm.
No, because they weren't making enough money.
It all comes back around.
Fucking Vince. Vince, you scumbag. You were letting people go to house shows, have fun. You motherfucker. I swear to God. I know he's guilty. I know he is now. I know it.
I went to one like right before the pandemic.
What?
Like literally. Because it was like, I think it was in February.
Yeah.
Like, so like right before the pandemic. And like the tickets were like $30-$40. And that was for like good seats. It was like just above like the floor.
No, not anymore, man. It's and you know what? It's not going to get any better. They just told you it's not going to get any better. They just said it. It is not going to get any better. You are going to be paying more and more for WWE tickets. I mean, I don't even know what UFC tickets you go for, but they're ridiculously priced is all I've ever heard. So I've never been to a UFC event. You have to be a fucking a millionaire to get a seat. This is the same thing boxing turned into. So anyway. Well. Yeah, exactly. So for some strange reason on this show, we've been talking about James Gunn, and I figured I would keep it going.
I was going to say, that's primarily a you thing, but go ahead.
But I'm not saying anything bad about the guy right now. Look, I said my piece on him. I did what I did. Peace. Funny. I'm talking about the Peacemaker. But he was on the Howard Stern show, as we mentioned earlier, and he was talking about some things, and they were talking about the Peacemaker, and he actually said that Cena wasn't his first choice, believe it or not. As good as Cena is in this role, I forget, he was in one of the Superman movies or Spider-Man movies. I think it was one of the Superman movies as the Peacemaker, and he was talking shit about Superman. I'm pretty sure it was this newer Superman that just came out. It was this one. He's dressed as the Peacemaker in this one. But this was not his first choice. His first choice, believe it or not, to play the Peacemaker was Batista. Dave Batista, who was actually named the best wrestler turned actor. Yeah, I don't think so. But anyway, that part would not have been the same with Batista. His delivery is not the same. Cena's got a little comedy. Cena's actually kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Dave isn't.
No, not really.
No, not at all. I think James Gunn got lucky. The fact that Dave wasn't able to do it. He was doing some other things. And he did get Cena, well, my dogs, and he did get John Cena because That would have been awful. Just again, just the voices, the delivery, everything. Look, I like Batista. I definitely do. He was great in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's funny, his character was not far off of what you would think Dave would be. Like very literal, doesn't get sarcasm or anything. It's kind of what you think Dave Batista would be in real life.
Saying he's method actor.
That's what his character in Guardians of the Galaxy was, as Drax.
Mm-hmm.
But I think James Gunn got lucky there. And Cena's better.
I would say so.
He's much better in that role. So to round out the news, let's talk about this one, folks. Now, it was just a few weeks ago that Skydance finalized its merger with Paramount. It was an $8 billion deal. They had to get approval from the FCC and everything before this deal went through. It was a pretty big deal. Now, the Wall Street Journal reported today that Paramount Skydance is entering into a majority cash bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, that means they would own either 51% or more of the company, which means they would have the controlling stake of the company. What would this mean for AEW? I don't know, but if this did happen, Paramount Skydance, with the merger that just happened, would actually be. Warner Brothers has the exclusive domestic broadcasting rights to AEW's programming. All right? Dynamite and Collision. So I'm not saying this could be the end of them, but it could be. We all know WWE does not play well with others, especially on their channel. So if this went down, AEW could not only be looking for a new TV, but we'll have to see what happens. Now they do have HBO Max, which they could maybe be able to jump over to there, but I don't know. We just don't know. It could be crazy though if this happened, because this would be like I said, this would be where TKO and UFC and all the shows, WWE, UFC is all on there. So what do you think, Smark? You think AEW is in trouble of losing their TV deal if this deal goes through?
I mean, if it does, potentially, yeah. But I mean, that's a hypothetical scenario on top of a hypothetical scenario. So it's just hard to say right now exactly what it is that's going to happen. It seems like it's been something that people have been afraid of for like the last year or so. Because anytime there's a rumor of them getting sold, it's like, that's going to be the end. It's like, well, maybe, but until it happens, I mean, we can't really say.
No, we can't. And I would hope it wouldn't. I mean, it's a good show. I like watching it. Everyone likes watching it. So I don't know. But it's definitely something that you might want to keep in the back of your head if this deal goes down. And I mean, listen, Warner Brothers wouldn't even be considering this bid if they weren't looking to sell or merge. They wouldn't even be looking at it. So we'll see what happens. But this proposal does say that there could be a planned split next year of Warner Brothers. And, well, we already talked about this with the streaming and studios. There's so many variables to this that we don't know what's going to happen until this deal goes through or doesn't go through. So we can sit here and speculate all day, but it all depends on whether or not this deal goes through. We'll see. We'll see. So there you go. That's all I've got on that. And that's all the news I got, Smark.
Right.
So you want to breeze through what's that show called? Dynamite. I told y'all I was fucking tired tonight. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm exhausted. I had to get up early. Too early. I don't like getting up at 6. Too early for me. Way too early. All right, so let's jump into Dynamite, then we'll wrap this bad boy up. A decent show. This was their last show from the 2300 Arena. It wasn't a bad show. I think it was a little oddly paced. And there was one completely unnecessary segment with FTR in here. What the fuck was that? What did that? What did that accomplish? Nothing.
The only thing I could think of is not really that it justifies it, because I didn't like the segment either. Let's be perfectly clear about that. It seemed like they were just trying to pay homage, as an homage to the fucking what the W Boys used to do, where like there was that one like infamous segment, I forget, it was like, I think it was from a pay-per-view or some shit, where like Bubba was just going after the entire crowd and he was trying to goad them into like jumping the fence and get into him and like almost caused a riot. I think that's what they were trying to do, because they were in the UCW arena, so they were trying to like do old ECW type things, and it was just like, it just kind of seemed like a giant waste of time.
That's great. One fan does, and shit goes down, and then guess who gets sued? The company. That's a great fucking idea to do. Yeah, go out there and try to goat fans. Yeah. With as crazy as people are right now, I would not do this. I
didn't say it was a good idea, but I think that's what they were trying to accomplish.
They were scanning that crowd, and I got to tell you, AEW fans are way older than I expected them to be.
So it's funny you say that, because like Stokely Hathaway, like in the middle of the segment, was saying, he was like, I'm looking around this arena and I could tell that none of you guys get any hoes either. And like they cut this like a close up of him, but like right behind him is a mom and 2 like 10 or younger year old boys, and it just made me laugh.
Yes.
It was like, that was incredibly ill fitting based on the circumstance.
I saw them in the front row. Actually, that's where Tony Storm and Sky Blue were just wrestling right in front of him. That kid's gonna get a memory of Sky Blue's ass that he's never had. He'll never forget that, and he shouldn't. Mm-hmm. He shouldn't. But this started off with Hangman Page, Hangman Adam Page, same thing, versus Josh Alexander. It was a pretty decent match. They did something new during this match, and I don't think I've seen them do this before. They were putting up. Do we still call them tweets? I don't know. Is that still a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Do I call them X's? Are they X's?
Well, you do live in Texas.
I know, but then I would sound horrible saying, "Oh, X's."
Well, see, all your exes live in Texas. You know what I'm saying?
They do. That's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. Or is that why you hang your hat in Tennessee?
I do have many hats, and I do live in Tennessee.
I think I just found something out about Smark right there with that statement. That's why he hangs his hat in Tennessee.
Right. Oh, what else was interesting? Since we were talking about random crowd members, there's a guy in the crowd that had like a replica, like that worked. It lit up and everything, of the fucking Jeff Jarrett hat. Like back in the day, they had the 2 J's and it fucking lit up. He had the same exact hat, and was just like, that's strange.
They probably sell them.
Maybe. Why not?
You might. You never know. But the match itself was good. I just don't think I had ever seen them put up those tweets before. I don't know what else to call them. Tweets. And they were all in the bottom left of the screen. I don't think I'd ever seen that before. But they did it through not just this match, but a few matches. Obviously, they had someone there screening, because not to do a live tweet stream on live TV in 2025.
Especially not during that night. Like, I'm sure there was plenty of unfortunate things that were being tweeted in lieu of recent current.
Yes, I'm sure it was not a good. Yeah, it was not a good night to do that. But
they did that shit on Raw. We remember when they started the Thunderdome for the first week, and it was like photos of like videos of people being beheaded. Fucking Chris Benoit. It was the most wild shit. Like they fucked up big time.
Yeah, they did. But Paige ended up defeating Josh Alexander in this match. Of course, there was some bullshit going down. Callis family came down. I'm sure Smark was all excited about that. But after the match, we had Hangman cutting a promo on Kyle Fletcher, and Kyle Fletcher came down after a while, and he challenged Paige for the AEW World Championship, which set up the match for All Out. Right? Yes, it did. So, but there were some steps. They've all got to, the Callis family cannot come out. They have to leave the Callis family back there. No one can come out. So they agreed. And then we got MJF in a replay of a promo from Saturday, which was all right. Didn't really need to play that this week, but I guess they did just to keep MJF's on the show. Somehow, some way. And then we go from there to the Young Bucks back in catering. I'm sorry. I'm still loving this storyline with the Young Bucks. I think it's hilarious. Even more hilarious, they're doing this whole thing. They have this $500,000 purse. They're still spending their salary on everybody else and just blowing their salary. We had a little segment, though, where they were in catering. It was more set up. It wasn't set up like it was set up like a cruise ship.
It looked like, to me, it looked like it was like taking place in like in a tent. Like it looked like to me like if you've ever been to like a wedding reception that's like held outside, like they have a little like tent where you could like go get like cake and drinks and shit.
Yep, that's probably what it was. But it was they were back there. They had these long tables. And they went up to the Dark Order table and they kicked him out. But they found Brandon Cutler and they were messing with him a little bit. Cutler stood up and told them to shut up and said, "Ooh, that felt good." Oh, just telling someone to shut up felt good? Okay. With the tampon hanging out of your vagina. Anyway, okay. Tell them to fuck off. That would felt better, I guarantee it. But yeah, but then Moxley walked up and basically they're in a match at the end of the night together, which means Death Riders should have got a portion of the winnings if they won. But he foregoed the Death Riders and said $250 for you guys each. That's it. $500,000. We're gonna do this. So there you go. Then we got into we finally saw Riho step in the ring, and whoa, that finishing move did not look good. I think Riho has lost weight, which isn't good for her.
I mean, I can't speculate on that, but I will say that the end sequence of that match looked like absolute shit. There was a point in time where fucking she somehow ended up hooking the wrong leg. I don't even know how that works, but she tried to hook the wrong leg, and you just see Emmy Sakura just lift her leg up and like kind of point in the direction of like, no, this one. It was like, oh Jesus Christ, this looks terrible. And then she did like a roll up, and the referee was counting, even though she wasn't in position to actually like be making the pin yet. And it all looked terrible.
And Emmy took a hard bump just to cover her screw up. I mean, she slammed down to the mat. I was like, damn, that girl fucking dropped. So good for her for at least trying to cover it up. But Riho and Alex Windsor.
I'm sorry, like you said, Riho and Alex Windsor won. But like they made a mention of it on commentary that like Emmy had taught her. It was like a student-teacher thing. It's like, how is somebody that you trained with, like you trained her, how is your chemistry together that fucking bad? Like, I don't understand. I
don't know, man. It's so odd, but I still think Riho lost at least 5 pounds. She's probably total of 85 pounds now. She doesn't look like she could do any damage to anybody. Like, you could put her in the ring with a 10-year-old, and the 10-year-old would probably kick her ass. I like Riho, don't get me wrong, but she doesn't look like she could do any physical damage to anyone. I apologize. Sorry.
You're not wrong.
No. But after that, we had Ricochet and GOA cut a promo on the Hurt Syndicate. They had a match with them later in the night. And literally, we just had this stipulation in the Hangman Page thing. Now, Ricochet does the same thing. All right, everyone has to stay backstage. GOA will stay backstage. If the Hurt Syndicate stays backstage, of course, Shelton Benjamin agreed to it. And then we had this absolutely unnecessary segment that we talked about with Dax and all them. Now, I got to ask you something, though. It did kind of devolve into them attacking the crew. Go with me on this for a second. Just hang with me. Are they poking fun at the lawsuit that Moxley's involved in with the crew member that he pushed down? Are they poking fun at that with this segment? Because it obviously crossed my mind, which is why I'm asking it. Am I looking too deep into this?
It's possible. Like, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I know that was very one answer, one word, one sentence answer, but like, they have the pay-per-view the week after next. So like, they're saying it's 1 week from Saturday or Sunday. They fucking keep changing the date, but it's 1 week from this weekend. So like, if you suspend them, then you don't have the pay-per-view match. So they're not going to do that. So like, why have them attack crewmen? Like, maybe that's why. Who knows?
This did zilch to forward this storyline. It was unnecessary. It was stupid. Even if they did it just because it was the ECW arena, it was not. It was unnecessary. Unnecessary. But anyway, we did get the match with Shelton and Ricochet. They stayed out for a while. I think we knew eventually GOA was going to end up coming down there, which brought the Hurt business down there. But Ricochet did end up defeating Shelton, which I was a little shocked. I actually thought Shelton was going to go out there and beat the shit out of him. But, you know, the Hurt business isn't supposed to lose to anybody. Remember? MVP was very clear about that, according to the dirt sheets. MVP was not letting them lose to anyone. Well, they lost 2 weeks in a row. If I remember correctly. Didn't they lose last week?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
They did too, in some stupid match. But they ended up being a huge brawl, and that's how it all came out. Hook then came up on the screen right before we went to a little commercial, and Hook is still talking about Hobbs replacing him and how quick they did it, but did say that Joe made him understand in only the way Joe Dad could do. So, but he said it's time for Hook to stand on his own. Or maybe not.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not. I'm wondering if he's bringing someone in. Maybe he's starting his own faction. I do not see Hook as a faction leader. So I don't know what they could be doing. Maybe it can work. I don't know. Just what we need, another faction in AEW. Go fuck yourself.
That's how I like to get down.
We don't need another faction. I'm sorry. The Death Riders are enough. You got the Death Riders. You got the Hurt Syndicate. You got fucking GOA. We don't need another faction. Stop. We got the ops. Stop. Anyway, we had this time with.
Maybe they'll bring back Santana and Ortiz and make them like Los Boricuas 2000.
Okay, if they're gonna do that, maybe that can work. But
and if I can have them managed by Miguel Perez, it is fucking giant thickets of
I don't see that happening because Santana's in TNA.
Which he did him so dirty too, because I listened to the interview he did with Chris Van Vliet when he first left AEW, and he was like, "Yeah, I wanted to compete. I wanted to compete for the tag team titles, but Ortiz said he was okay with just fucking being in mediocrity. Like he didn't care if we were champions or not." And I was like, "Jesus, like way to fucking bury the guy. Like what did he do?"
They had a falling out. We all know that. That was public. So
I didn't until I heard the interview, and then I was like, "Damn,
it was." We talked about it, that they had some sort of falling out, and that might have been it. The fact that he just was happy with being wherever they were. Let's just collect the check.
Yeah, he basically said he was like complacent and or lazy.
Oh, that'll do it. So we had this Tony Storm versus Sky Blue Philly Street fight. Awesome of Tony Storm to do kind of the Sandman pose with the kendo stick. I loved what she was doing. Tony Storm is just great. She's just great. She's awesome.
She fucking hit her with a stop sign and then did the fucking New Jack like air guitar dance thing that he does. And it's like, wow, Ted's like, man, she's hitting them all.
Yeah, she was putting out a lot of the old ECW tributes on the last show there. I mean, there were VHS tapes in here. There were toasters, mouse traps, signs. Everything was in this fucking match. Tony Storm did end up winning. There was a good after-match beatdown with they're calling these girls the Triangle of Madness. I think we'd all do some damage to their triangles of madness. All three.
So this was I really liked this match. It was like a lot of fun because they stapled each other's asses and poops and shit. It was wild. And like you said, mouse traps. There was all kinds of crazy shit going on. But like at one point, I believe it was Sky Blue that hit Tony Storm, and it might have been vice versa, but I believe it was Sky Blue hit Tony Storm with like a fucking frying pan or cookie sheet.
Yep.
It was a great sheet. And like just for the next like 5 minutes, Bryan Danielson goes on this tirade about how that doesn't actually hurt. It's just a waste of time. I was like, you really got to work on this commentary thing, friend. Like you can't just be out here like that shit doesn't hurt. That's fucking stupid. It's like, all right, way to bury the match while it's going on. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
He doesn't know. He's making up things in his head like he just always does. But anyway, Triangle of Madness came down. They jumped Tony Storm. Jamie Hayter. Actually, Chris Statlander first came down. Then Jamie Hayter came down. But Jamie Hayter got all confused and accidentally took out Chris Statlander, which left the Triangle of Madness standing tall in the ring. I like that little group of those three girls. I think that it's a very good little group, those three girls. And I'm going to tell you, I'll say it, the more gothier Sky Blue gets, the hotter she is. She's getting even hotter the more gothier she is. Oh my God. Love it. So then we had a backstage segment with Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale. Renee Paquette was doing her best to not lose her shit and laugh, but she did. She couldn't help it. Willow's basically sitting there talking about wanting to fight Marina Shafir. Harley Cameron comes in, and all she can talk about is painting a cat on people's faces. So she just loves painting pussies on people's faces. I'm ready. Okay. I've said before, I think Harley Cameron is going to do incredibly well. I see WWE picking her up. They would love a good comedy woman. I got a feeling she's going to be there probably sooner rather than later. She's going to do great, but I think wherever she goes, she'll do great. Just pretty. She's hilarious. She's talented. She's beautiful. There's not much that she can do to mess up, and she can wrestle. So good segment though. But what made me laugh the most was looking at Renee laughing her ass off when Harley Cameron was singing the song. So it was good. But Willow did deny to the song was about Willow and Chris Statlander kind of reuniting, and Willow denied. Probably a good idea, because I think Chris Statlander is going to be the next member of the Death Riders. They already have one new one. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Yeah, maybe. I like the beginning of that where she was just like, all right, well, I'm going to sing you a song. Pick your favorite chord. She goes, G. He goes, all right, C flat. Gotcha. Good choice. Like, that was pretty good. I like that part. And, like, I've said this before, but I like just how Renee actually reacts to what it is that's going on. And she doesn't just stare.
Yes.
Fucking Linda McMahon just dead-eyed looking into the fucking camera while things happen around her. She actually has reactions to what's going on.
And she should, because Harley Cameron is fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
She's hilarious. She is funny, and it's great. And yeah, I do agree. I like seeing Renee actually react like a normal person would. That's what a normal person would do, is react to that. Oh, there you go, Smart.
Packers win 17-18. Go Pack. Oh, Jerry Jones, you have cursed as well. With Dan Vestahelm.
27-18.
Yeah, I probably fucked it up. 27-18. There we go.
Yeah, because 17-18, they would not be winning.
My brain just sort of did what it wanted to do there. It's like, 17-18, they won.
You're tired too. Mm-hmm. So we got a few matches announced. Okada versus Michael Oku, Takeshita versus Anthony Bowens, Beast Mordos versus Mascara Dorada. This is for the three-way match. No, this is going to determine the three-way match for the Unified Championship at All Out. So we'll see what happens with that. And then we get into the main event here. Now, what I picked up on in the main event is the fuck you Yuta chants. This was the Young Bucks and the Death Riders versus Brodito and the Ops. It was a 10-man match. I don't know why we have to end every fucking show with a clusterfuck match on AEW. But like I said, the main thing I noticed was a lot of fuck you Yuta chants.
Yeah, they do not like him.
They do not like Yuta. But it the match itself wasn't awful. It was just another clusterfuck. There's always so much going on. It's hard to keep up. They don't keep up with the action with their camera angles like they should, in my opinion. But the Young Bucks did end up winning this match. Well, and Young Bucks and the Death Riders. We saw Matt Jackson pin Bandito. Nick Jackson gave him a little bit of a leverage with the foot on the ropes and held his feet. But then after the match, we got Hobbs came down, Darby Allin ran down, and then while Darby's doing his thing, we see a guy in a hoodie take down Darby. And it turns out it's Daniel Garcia, because what other badass in the company is there besides Daniel Garcia? I don't know. I don't know what they see in this guy. This guy is Ethan Page 2 to me.
There really and truly was. I remember it. He, coming off the independents, he was a hot commodity. Like, genuinely, WWE was interested in him too. And, like, they were both kind of going back and forth to fight fighting, trying to get him. So like AEW getting him at the time was a big get. But like he just hasn't developed into anything. Like he's still just the same fucking no personality, good wrestler, but just boring in all other circumstances kind of dude. It's like, okay, he does a little dance. It's like, all right, cool. Like, that's it.
I hated that. It was stupid. It was stupid. But I don't know what they're gonna. I mean, like you said earlier, I guess we can assume he's part of the Death Riders, but it's not guaranteed. I guess we'll see. I really thought this was not the best ending to this show.
Mm-hmm. And like also real quick, if I could take umbrage on something a little bit, it might be a little nitpicky, sure. But like also you've had him lose time and time and time and time. Like the last 2 months or so, he's lost pretty much every fucking match he's been in. So it's like, oh no, don't go to the dark side, but you'll get your ass kicked there too. Like it's no threat. He doesn't add anything to the group. He's not like making it them more of a threat. It's not more ominous. It's a guy who loses all the time. It's like, all right, you're the guy that's going to lose for them now.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they were saying on comment. I mean, even on commentary, they were like, "Oh, he's been on this losing streak. He's done everything right, and he's still losing." And it's like, okay, so they just brought in a loser. I mean, okay, add it to the other fucking losers, I guess.
I get the idea of like, you know, this is what drove him. It broke him, and he wants to do things differently now or whatever. Just like he sold out, but it's like, okay, he lost all the time. Like you could have had him like cheat to win a match or something, and then that's how it happened. Or he used their help to win a big match, like something. It's just, oh hey, this guy who loses all the time is part of our group now. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, but I mean, this story's been done to death so many times by so many different. It's. Oh, the guy's on a losing streak, so he goes to the dark side. Yeah. What else you got? Next. I don't know, man. It's craziness, but we'll see how it works out in the long run. I don't know. I mean, I guess now he can be that no real personality and get away with it in a group that doesn't really have a personality. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
So what is Yuta do now? Because that was what Yuta did for them. So now there's 2 guys in the group that have no personality.
Yeah. So now literally you're going to have the crowd hating 2 guys, and Tony Khan's still going to keep this fucking storyline going because it's a Tony Khan thing to do. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. Which one? Oh, okay. Go ahead. Good.
We would like to know, is your birthday tomorrow or Sunday? I know one is yours and the other is Matt. Matt doesn't show up to shows anymore, so to hell with him. Mine is tomorrow for T-minus 25
Well,
minutes.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, you big sexy guy. You happy birthday. I can't sing for shit. Okay.
Well, the other one's copywritten anyway, so you don't want to get that DMCA.
So there you go. I made up my own for that. There you go. So that was Dynamite, folks. What else? What do you got? You got anything? You going anywhere special tomorrow for your birthday? Doing anything fun?
Go out to eat.
Nice. We did nothing for my birthday this year. Nothing. And I was fine with it. I was fine with it though. But all right. I guess we can wrap up, Smark. I know you're not feeling too great, so we'll get out of here. Let you get some rest. All right.
Which actually, since he mentioned it, I will go ahead and turn it around on him because his birthday is coming up too. I believe his birthday is the day after mine. So happy birthday!
Oh, happy birthday, man! There you go. Awesome. All these birthdays coming up. That's pretty cool. All right. So, folks, that's it. We'll be back here next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube, Wrestling Outlet. Join me and Smark, of course. And Smark, tip me.
That's right, totally appropriate. Team Sports, aka Tits. Every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. We are talking NFL. We're talking NCAA football. For some reason, I think it's Drew Norris' fault. We're talking the CFL, the Canadian Football League. So we'll be talking about all of that. Luke will be celebrating the Packers win. I will be celebrating probably the Bears getting stomped by the Detroit Lions. So go ahead and check us out Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. on the Totally Inappropriate Team Sports YouTube page.
Yeah, there you go, folks. All right. I did say I was bringing Hollywood Hangout back last weekend, but it was the most hectic weekend I've ever had here. I actually recorded the show and have not put it up yet. I will. I did record the show. I will put it up this week. I'll try to get it done tomorrow. I have another busy day tomorrow. So later, Luke, we'll see you. Smark, I'll see you, folks. Appreciate it. Chat room, thanks all as always, and we will see y'all next week.